Hello. So you watched the previous video about repetition, right? So now I would like to explain you the syntax of a while loop. How is the syntax of the while loop? See that you have the keyword while, parentheses, expression, optional curly braces, but I recommend you to use always curly braces. And inside the curly braces, you have one, two, or more statements. This is the loop body. So the while loops work like this. If the expression is true, you're gonna get into the loop and execute the statement or statement associated with the while loop. End of the while loop, evaluate the expression again. If the expression is true, jump into the loop and execute everything that is in the loop. End of the while loop, evaluate the expression again. If the expression is false, jump out of the loop and continue with your programs. So when you use loops, just make sure that somehow internally in the loop, you are gonna make the expression false when you get that you want. What means when you get that you want? If you wanna compute the total, right? You know that something internally have to be changed to stop the loop, right? This is that we're gonna learn today. So now I would like to show you an example uh, why we need loops, repetition. Okay, so let me see here. So let's gonna create a program. Okay, simple program. So what happened in this program? Okay, let me room just in case to don't make mistakes. And main method here and class. Okay, so what happens if I ask you, please create a program to add two numbers? Oh, you immediately create uh, and one, right? You create two, correct? Add two numbers. Okay, result, correct? And you're gonna use what is scanner, right? Import Java scanner. We're gonna create the scanner here, declare the scanner here. Scanner system int, right? And then we're gonna interact with the user. So enter a number. Right, it's gonna use print, enter a number. Okay, let's gonna use none1 equal input dot next int. And let's gonna repeat the same instruction to receive the number, the second number, right? And then what should be the formula to compute the addition of the number? Result equal none1 plus none. Correct? Nothing new, right? Okay, this program works really well when you add two numbers. So what happens if I ask you, please add four numbers? Create a program to add four numbers. No problem. Let me copy and paste the variables. Oh, copy and paste the variables. Okay. I guess I got a pattern. So let's gonna now collect the information for the other variable, right? So we have here num3 and num4. And what about our formula? Num3 plus num4. Got it? Okay, now what's happening if I ask you create a program to add 100 numbers? No problem. So let's gonna create an additional 96 variable, right? An additional system data out and collect information. And the result is gonna be num1 plus num2 plus num99. Oh, wow. You get the point? So as you see, we are repeating, and repeating the code. And things about it. So if I ask you add 5 numbers, you have to repeat 5 numbers 5 times this message, right? If I ask you add 100 number, well, you will have to repeat 100 times this message. If I ask you add 10 numbers, you will have to repeat 10 times. Oh, that is repetition. See that? We're creating a lot of variables here. And what is the purpose for the program? Add the numbers, correct? Okay, think about it. If you need to add the numbers, your goal is get result with the addition of the number that you want to add, right? Okay, so let's gonna use repetition. Okay, how we gonna implement repetition here? First of all, according to my presentation, you see that you need the keyword while, right? Okay, is the end loop. Okay, so what do you need here? You have to write inside parentheses the expression, okay, that you are going to evaluate every time you want to get into the loop, into the while loop. So if the expression here is true, you're going to add a number. Okay, if the expression is true, you're going to add a number. Okay, question. How many times you want to add a numbers? Let's going to start with 5 times, okay? You want to add 5 numbers. You wanna get something simple, let's gonna add first 3 numbers, okay? So you know that you're gonna execute this while loop 3 times, right? Okay. How can we gonna make this while loop run 3 times? Okay, we have to write something here to write to execute 3 times, correct? Something. Okay. When you use loops, you're gonna have a special variables, always. So we're gonna use that from now until the end of the semester. Let's gonna call that count. Loop control variable. Loop control variable. So what's happening with count? Count is gonna help us to count, to keep the track, how many times we're gonna get into the loop. Okay, got it. So every time you're gonna get into the loop, your goal is gonna be update, increment, and count by 1. So every time you get into the while loop, increment by 1. Every time you get into the while loop, increment by 1. So count is gonna help you to count the number of times you're getting into the while loop. Okay, so what is the initial value of count? Look at this, I initialize to 0. Okay, so count less than 3. So less than 3 means that could be 0, count could be 1, and count could be 2, correct? Correct? So if count is 0, 1, or 2, always you're gonna get into the loop. You see? Are gonna get 3 times into the loop, right? Because the initial value that I used for count was 0. 0 less than 3, yes. Immediately, when you get that, you can increment count plus 1. Why? because count is 0. 0 plus 1, count is going to be now 1. So next time that you get into the loop, you're going to evaluate that. What is the current value of count now? 1. 1 less than 3? True. Okay. 1 plus 1, now it's going to be 2. Okay, end of the while loop. 2 less than 3? True. 2 plus 1, now it's going to be 3. Count is 3. 3 is less than 3, stop. Oh, so this while loop, as you see, have a formula. You initialize count to 0, and if you want to run 3 times, less than 3. If you want to run 2 times, less than 2. If you want to run 100 times, less than 100. Why less is not less equal? Because count starts at 0. You are not starting count at once, right? So if you want to execute this while loop 200 times, less than 200. So I gave you the formula now. Okay, if you want to add 3 numbers, less than 3. If you want to add 5 numbers, less than 5. Got it? So let's go and add 3 numbers. Okay, you have the formula now to run this loop 3 times. So what do you have to do now inside the while loop if you want to add numbers? Okay, so immediately you get into the loop, you can ask, enter a number, correct? And you're going to receive the number. Okay, so now what happened? When you get into the loop the first time, here, the first time, count is equal 0, correct? Okay, 0 less than 3, 0 less than 3, correct. We get into the loop, right? Now, what is the value of count now? 0, right? So 0 plus 1, let me use okay, so now I snip that. So what's happening here? Let's go to track again. So you have now in count now 0, right? So let's see. In count is 0. 0 less than 3, true. So here, 0 plus 1, now you're gonna have count 1, right? So now you're gonna have here 1. In count is 1. Okay? Count is 1. And then you're gonna display the message, enter a number. And assume that the user entered the number 3. Right? And 1, now it's going to be 3. Right? Okay. Now, end of the loop, then what happened? Count, what is the value of count? Count is 1, right? 1 less than 3, true. What is the value of count? 1, 1 plus 1, now count is 2. Enter a number, you enter, for example, the number 5. You receive 5 in the 1. And now end of the while loop. Now, what is the value of count? 2, right? 2 less than 3, true. Count now is going to be 2 plus 1. Count now is going to be 3. And what happened? Enter a number, you enter another number, for example, 10. End of the while loop, and then Evaluate again. What is the value of count? Count now is 3, right? 3 less than 3, false. And continue with your code. As you see, this while loop allows us to receive three numbers, but we are not adding the numbers. So now we're gonna add the numbers. So every time that you display the message, enter a number, and you receive a number, that's gonna add result to increment by the number that you are receiving. Okay, let me display again. So every time that you are receiving a number, you have the number in the variable num1. What is the value of result at the beginning? At the beginning is 0, right? So 0 plus whatever you receive, for example, 3, 0 plus 3 is going to be 3. The loop again, count now is going to be 1, right? Right? 1 less than 3, true. Correct? And now what happened? Increment count. Count now is going to be 2. Then enter a number. You receive another number, for example, 10. And you're going to add to resolve the previous number. So let me use a notepad here. For example, assume that at the beginning, resolve 0 and count 0. So 0 less than 3, true. What is the value of count now? Count at the beginning is 0. So 0 plus 1. So what is going to be the new value of count now? It's going to be 1. Perfect. Now you're going to print, enter a number. Assume that the user entered the number 6. So in num1 is going to receive 6. Now, how is result? How is the variable result? The variable result is like this. What is the current value of result? At the beginning, result is 0. Okay, 0 plus, what do I have in num1? Oh, the user entered at the beginning 6. We are assuming that the user entered 6. So 0 plus 6 is going to be 6. End of the while loop. And then evaluate the expression. What is the value of count? Let me see. Count now is 1. Oh, okay. 1 is less than 3? True. Perfect. Okay. And now, count is 1 now, right? Formula is this. So if count now is 1, 1 plus 1, count is going to be now 2. Right? Perfect. We display the message, enter a number, and assume that the user now enter a number 4. Num1 store the number 4. And then how is going to be the result? Remember, result previously was 6, okay? Okay. So result is 6 plus whatever we have in num4. In num1, num1 is 4. So 6 plus 4 is going to be 10. So result now have the value of 10. Correct? Let's gonna run the loop again. What is the value of count? Count is 2. So 2 less than 3, true. Now we're gonna increment count by 1, right? What is the value of count? 2. 2 plus 1, 3. The new value of count is 3. Now display the message, enter a number. Assume that the user entered now the number 10. Okay? We have the formula. Okay, I don't want to confuse. You're going to assume the user entered 8. Okay? Now, how we're gonna compute the result? What is the previous value of result? 10, right? Okay. What is the current value of nano 1? 8. 10 plus 8 now is gonna be 18. The current value of result is if 18 is 18. Perfect. Now, end of the while loop. What is the value of count? 3. 3 is less than 3. False. We're going to stop the loop and continue with our program. Delete this line. We don't need that. And you see, only one formula with one variable. So system that out, the addition of the numbers is result. And it's going to run. So this is why we need repetition. And you see that we don't need to create a lot of variables. If you only need to know the totals, the accumulation, well, that's it. You can do that. See that? The addition if is 80. Okay, so in this example, I show you that you can optimize the number of variables with loops, right? So you have to detect the repetition and then create a loop just in case this is the counter control loop, okay? And in this example, we were able to analyze and detect what is gonna be the formula that we're gonna use every time we're gonna execute a loop and certain number of time. If you wanna run, you wanna add 5 numbers, just modify 5 here. You wanna add 100 number, just modify the number there because we start count at 0. This is why we use less than. Okay, so I hope this video helped you. Okay, thank you.